Okay, girls and boys, we are going to do a very short review of math topic 10-6. And remember, in this topic, what we've been talking about is the different options that we have. We can now solve big addition problems any way that we like, any way that we feel comfortable with. So let's start with this little video inside of this video.
Lauren, Nate, and Josh use different ways to find 257 plus 126. Lauren uses an open number line. She starts at 257 and mentally adds up the hundreds, the tens, and the ones. How much does Lauren add on in all?
Select your answer.
Well, look at the arcs. We have 100, and then we have a 10. So 100 plus 10 is 110. And then there's another 10. So that makes 120. And then we have a 3 and a 3. So that should be 126. Yes!
Lauren adds 126 in all because 126 is one of the add-ins. Why does Lauren add 126 in different jumps? It can be easier to break apart a number like 126 into hundreds, tens, and ones to add mentally. After adding all the parts of 126, Lauren ends at 383. So, 257 plus 126 equals 383. Nate also finds 257 plus 126. He draws place value blocks. He regroups 10 ones as 110. How many ones are circled? Why? 10 ones are circled because Nate is regrouping the 10 ones as 110. After the regrouping, there are 3 hundreds. How many tens and ones are there?
Select your answer.
Okay, so after the regrouping, how many tens and ones are there? Well, let's take a look. How many tens bars do you see? And how many ones are left in the ones block? Okay, that's what I think too.
After regrouping, there are 8 tens and 3 ones. So Nate finds that 257 plus 126 equals 383. Josh uses place value. He adds the ones, the tens, and then hundreds. Josh also finds that 257 plus 126 equals 383. Look at the 3 strategies. Is the sum the same each time? Why? Yes, the sum is the same. Each strategy is different, but the add-ins are the same each time, 257 and 126. If the add-ins are the same, then the sum will be the same, no matter which strategy is used. Now you know how different addition strategies work.
You are good at math.
Okay, so when we're asked to find 375 plus 235 and to explain our strategy, well, we can start with our place value block and we can draw everything out, okay, because we may not have enough blocks with us. So we have 375, and then we'll show 235. And then what we'll do is we'll add up each block, and this gives us our partial sums. When we count up all the hundreds and all the tens and all the ones, we get 610. So we can use partial sums to help us. We can also try regrouping. So if we look at the ones here, there are 10 of them, and we don't really want to have more than 9 in one place value. So we're going to get rid of those ones, 10 of them, and we're going to add a 10 over here. But look at those 10s. There are 10 red ones and 1 blue one. So we're over 9 again. So we can get rid of these 10s, and 10 tens equal 100, and add 1 to the hundreds box. So we add these up. There's 600s, or 600, and a 10, and no ones, and we still get 610. So we saw these 3 strategies, but now let me show you something that we didn't talk about before. Josh's partial sums. Look at this, 257 plus 126. There's another way we could do this. You can add the ones first, or you can start with the hundreds. So look at this box right here. The first number is actually the ones. 7 plus 6 is 13 ones. Now, we can also do it the other way, where we start with the hundreds first. 200 plus 100 is 300. So you can start with the ones, you can start with the hundreds. The important thing is that you keep everything lined up. Okay, because if something is put out of place, it'll mess up the whole problem. And if they ever ask you to explain your work, you can just describe the steps in very small sentences. Start at 624, add 2 hundreds, then add 4 tens, count on 6 to get 870, and so on. You don't have to leave those blank because they're not really asking you anything difficult. You just have to do the writing. So we have options when we do addition. Okay, and it's good to know which ones we can use and which ones we like best. So if we want to solve 146 plus 135, we can use the open number line. We put the bigger addend on the line, and we break up the smaller one into scoops. We have 3 tens, so we can do 3 jumps, or one big jump of 30, and we add our 5 ones at the end, and we'll get 281. That's if you like the open number line. If you'd rather use something else, no problem. You still have 2 other options. One of them is the place value block. You draw a table like this, and then you draw all of the blocks. 146 is 100, 4 tens and 6 ones. 135 is 100, 3 tens and 5 ones. And then you can regroup. We have 11 ones. We want to get that number down, so we'll make a 10, move it over to the tens place, and now we'll add everything up. We have 146 plus 135. We have 2 hundreds, 8 tens, and 1 1. The third way that we've learned is to use partial sums. We stack the numbers, and we can start with the ones first. 6 plus 5 equals 11. And then 4 tens plus 3 tens is 7 tens, which equals 70. And then 100 plus 100 equals 200. And when we add those up, we still get 281. 1 1, 8 tens, and 2 hundreds. And that's it. So use the one that you like. But it's good to be able to know how all 3 of them work. Isn't it great to have choices? Okay, so boys and girls, today, please do the additional practice book, pages 153 and 154. And that's it for today. Of course, when you have time, go over to Envision also and try to catch up on all the activities there, or as many as you can. The end.